scrapbookers and creative friends. I'm Linda Petuch, Creative Memories Independent Advisor in Jupiter, Florida. Welcome to Thursday Thoughts. And before I forget, I have to tell you I am so happy because a week ago today, on September 10th, my hummingbirds came back. I am so happy. So in their honor, I had to wear my favorite hummingbird necklace. So I'm so excited. They're back. And I'm ready now for the painted buntings. They'll be here in about a week or so. They usually come afterwards. It's a little bit early this year, but I will take them whenever they get here. So today I want to talk to you about researching with the Creative Memories frame border punches. These are the punches that if you follow the frame setup, it's engineered so that you can make a frame on an even numbered cut of paper, like a 12 by 12, 10 by 10, 8 by 8, and so forth. The smallest, of course, you can do is, I think it's 6 by 6, and then it makes a little tiny one. But in any case, I was playing with those, researching with those, and I decided I wanted to make the frames more like actual frames. So you'll see what I did with that. I really had a good time researching, playing with my tools that I have here, and I wanted to share some of those ideas with you, and maybe it's something that you would be interested in doing. Now, not all of the punches that I have are available at Creative Memories. A couple of them I have available on my website, and I've put the links there. But in any case, I'm going to show you what I have, because you may have a lot of these, or your friend may have it, or your advisor may have it. So just take a look and see what you think. Let's get started. Now here's my inspiration. These are the 11 frame punches that I have. I love punches. You've been following me, you know that I love punches. And the thing about the frame punches is that you can make frames, but you can also use them as border punches. And then you've seen me use a lot of these as border punches. But so these were where I got started. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate using one of them and the way I made my frames, what I like to call true frames, out of my frame punches. Let me just set these aside out of the way. Now, I want to demonstrate with this particular one. It's called the Petal Frame and Border punch. And first thing I want to show you is that, let me close it, maybe you'll see it better. I'm hoping the light's catching this. When you make a border punch, you use the black lines that are on the front to line up your paper. Let me get a piece of paper here. So if you were going to be punching and just making a frame, you would start your paper either on the left side, or if you're more comfortable, start it on the right side, lined up here. But when you're making a frame, you want to use these silver lines that are on the wings here. That's where you're going to line up, either again on the left or on the right. So to save time, I've already punched 3 sides with this petal frame. And now what we're going to do, this is the last punching that we have to do to make our completed frame. This, of course, was a 12 by 12. So I'm going to line this up, and I'm making sure that it's, because I work on the left line. So I lined it up here. You do your punch. You get these wonderful little squares, which you've seen me use before. Then you move this down. As with all of our punches, you line up to cover up that blue design. That way you know you're in the right place. So this is my last, I think it's five punches. And the last one, and you'll have that little square, one last little square. You have 4 squares, of course, from the 4 corners. And then we get these scraps out of the way. Some of the confetti from these punches are pretty beautiful. Like the snowflake one, oh my gosh, you want to keep that. And even the pumpkin one, you might want to keep that as well, because you can always flip it over and use the other side and so forth. And there are my squares from all my little punches that I did. All right, so this is beautiful the way it is as a frame. However, I really, as I said, wanted to make it look more like a frame. So I'm going to use the technique that you've seen me and probably a lot of other advisors use, and that is to cut a frame, to cut a paper out of the center here, so that way you can first of all, it lightens the weight of your page, because you don't have as much paper here, but also you can use that centerpiece that you take out. You can use that if you have a design paper, flip it over, and I'll show you that in a minute. But so what I wanted to do is I wanted to to make the outside frame all around the edges 2 inches. So if I'm doing this, you've seen me demonstrate it before, I use the right side like for an inch frame or 1.5 inches, but because it's 2 inches, we're going to use the left side. So you want to line this up, and now you've already cut, so you can't really take the paper up to the top. You see, you have to keep it within that ruler. And then I'm lining it up, and I found this petal frame was really easy to line up because I use the peaks of these petals to have it here on this line. Have it down over there. I have to peek a little bit. And then you put this down, and then you can, remember we always have these fabulous guidelines on here if you want to see exactly where you're cutting. But here's the beauty of this. When you're cutting a frame out of the middle, you have to kind of, you can see where the measurements are, but because you have holes punched in here from the design, I'm gonna start it at 2 inches, and I'm gonna stop at 10 inches because remember it was 12 by 12, and we want to have 2 inches around the edges. So I'm going to start here at 2, and this housing has a white line. Let me show you that before I move on. White line here, that's where that's 1 inch, and that's where the blade's actually going to start cutting. So I'm lining up, let me just make sure I have this in the right spot. I'm making sure that I line up this white cutting line on the 2 inches. So let me get on with this. Starting at 2, stopping at 10. Then I'm going to lift this up, turn it around. We're just going to keep doing this all 4 corners. I know if you've done this a gazillion times, no doubt you don't want to watch this. Feel free, oops, sorry, to fast forward. Okay, 2 and 10. Go to the next one. Line it up. And make sure, you want to be consistent about it. These designs actually help. And the beauty of this is that you can see through here, and it's easier to see where that 2-inch line is than if the paper was solid. So it's kind of a bonus of doing this. Start at 2, stop at 10, and the final cut would be here. Okay, again, we're lining up our petals. We're inside the ruler, and the lines should theoretically line up exactly. If they don't, we always have our handy dandy scissors. Okay, just a little miss here, but problem solved. Not a problem at all. Okay, tiniest little cut. All right, so here now we have this beautiful frame that to me looks more like a frame than it did before. And now I have a piece of cardstock here. We're going to place this on the cardstock. And look how pretty that is. It makes it so nice because you've used your frame and you've actually taken it another step and you've made a frame. Now you will have, I save all of these pieces because this could be cut into mats to mount photos in the middle if you'd like to. I've even used the design like this, or I've put it over, especially if it has a designer paper. But don't discard this, of course. You can always use it. We always are looking for scraps for whatever we need. So there's that. And now I would like to share the designs I made just for you. I'm starting with the pumpkin. The pumpkin punch, the pumpkin vine punch, because I love this. I love the fall, and I'm ready for it to be fall. So here you see I made the frame, and I used the 12-inch trimmer to cut on the inside. Now this is an occasion where you have this designer paper, and if you wanted to use the flip side, look how beautiful that is, and there's a great staging area for your photographs and so forth. And again, you could put it at an angle. That doesn't work so well at an angle, but of course this would work at an angle as well. And then in addition to that, you could use now you want to use the space. I cut some 4x6. You can do it this way. Of course, you can, if you wanted to stay a little more within the frame, you can do that. You can mix and match. Maybe do a 4x4, a couple of 4x4s with the 4x6, whatever makes you happy. And the other thing, if you wanted to use just that interior space, I cut these at like 3.5 by 3.5 squares, and then they would stay right inside. Where's my 4th one? I know it's here. Okay, it's disappeared. That's the thing about taping. That always happens. Well, just bear with me. I really, truly did make a 4th one. But let's make a design out of that. There we go. We could do that and put an embellishment here or put a journal box. But you see, it fits within that frame. Okay, and this punch is no longer available, Creative Memories, but I have one on my website, and I put the link in the description. Another one of my favorites is this gorgeous snowflake. And as I'm saying, you don't want to discard the confetti from that, because I use these in all my page layouts when I'm doing snowflake winter things, borders and pages. But look how pretty that is. I did do both of these on shimmer because I'm thinking ice and it's nice and wet and pretty. But it just makes it more of a frame in my eyes. I love that. Use some copper shimmer with the Baroque punch. How pretty is that? And of course you could put page protectors. You could put photo mats, or you could just use this area. And of course, what I like about this is that you could possibly just have a feature photo, or you could do a collage of photos there, whatever makes you happy. Here's the cloud frame. And the cloud, I did it on cardstock, and then I used the blue shimmer for the sky. And the next one, I love this little spider web. The spider web is really fun. I did that on kind of a purple. And see, it depends on the design. If you look at, like, this cloud design was so large that it was so on the edge that it made the frame a little bit, I don't know, visually looks thicker to me. But you can see it just depends on what design you're using. I encourage you to just play with them. So then we have this. Now you could put a different kind of paper inside. And remember, any of these you took out of the middle, you can always add to embellish. The copper's pretty in there. All right, so don't forget you can use those as well. There's the spider web. And I know I should make more double page spreads, and I played with this a little bit, and I was thinking that possibly I could cut one end off and make it a flow across, but to me it didn't look good. I didn't like that look. So instead I just doubled the fun for the double page, and that's what I did. And this was one that I might consider putting the interior back inside the cut piece back inside there, but that would be pretty. But I mean, you can play with the frames if you want, but to me, when I cut it there, it just kind of ruined the design. So I decided to just make a double page spread by just doubling what I did. Now, if you know me and the sunflowers. I just can't get enough sunflowers. This was at Sunflower Fields, and this is the sunflower cardstock. But look how pretty that is. I did make the double page here by picking up on the sunflower design over here. And because it is so busy, adding that frame, and then these little 3.5 by 3.5 inch square in the center for the mats works really nicely. And then you pull the sunflower over here, always kind of balancing but tying it together. And I never have enough sunflowers. So before I show you the next ones, I just want to tell you, I thought, well, this is very nice with the cutting out, using the 12-inch trimmer to cut out the center to make the frame. But I thought, I want to see how I could maybe use the custom cutting system. So look what I came up with. The first one, I decided, now it looks very similar to using the 12-inch trimmer. However, because this has the rounded edges, the curved edges, I thought that looked really nice with this geometric border punch. So that's what I did here. So there's that one and this is the, I never will be able to remember the names of these, but this is the one that has of course, the ruffled edge on the outside. And I did, by the way, I used the red blade because I wanted to have as much of the interior showing. So I used the inside edge, the inside groove with the red blade. And I did that pretty much on all of them that I'm going to show you. The next one, I decided to use this funky little, it's like a Salvador Dali kind of melted rectangle or square, I should say. But I love that too. And I thought, again, with the curved edges inside and kind of picking up on the curves that are here. So I like that as well. And then, I lost control a little bit. then I decided I wanted to use the spring leaf border punch. And I thought, well, you know, you could completely change the look of this by what color leaves you make, what color you place it on for your base, and then of course what embellishments you put. And I made this very flexible, so that I popped these up on foam squares again, because when you don't have your pictures yet, you want to make sure that you have room to slide photographs underneath there. So this could be at this angle, or you could have it this way. Whichever. I mean, I guess because I go left to right, I think that kind of works for me. But that was using this particular ruffled circle. Again, I used the inside circle of the circle with the red blade, and then added embellishments. Now, if I do, I'll show you there's another version of this with fall, and I'll show you that in just a second. But next, I started with this using just the jumbo circle and on this diamond edge, and I was looking at this thinking this would be a really nice stage for your photos and a nice place you could add some embellishments. But I wasn't adding embellishments yet. But this is that jumbo circle, and it just changes the look of the frame, but I think it's a very nice change. So here's the spring leaf punch, but instead of using the circle to cut the circle out in the middle, I thought that was, I don't know, that just felt springier to me. I decided that I wanted to use the square that had the ruffles inside the middle, and I made this with an autumn theme. And this is a little pumpkin that I created on my Cricut, but then this is the Creative Memories embellishment that I added there. Again, popped up on foam squares so that I have room to add my photographs. Now I'm thinking seasonal, so I had to do one more that has a Christmas design. So I used the oval because I was thinking, I don't know, that might leave way too much space open, but I decided that I would do this oval again with the red. I was thinking perhaps I could maybe make the frame a little bit thinner if I want on the outside, but then it would have gone into the design. You'll just have to play with the designs and see. But again, this is pretty generic because I kept it on the frame, so then you could turn this. You could have a featured photo in the center, an oval center, like maybe one 5x7 trimmed into an oval. Same thing here, but it could be a vertical. And then again, this is flexible, whichever side, if you wanted to balance a left and a right. Very easy to do with a pre-designed page. And that is my final design. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope that gave you some good ideas. You go into your scrapbooking room or your area, wherever it is you scrapbook, do a little research using those frame punches and see what you can come up with. And you know, if you ever want to share what you've done, they don't always let us put that on photos on YouTube, but you can go to my website, lindascrapbookingstation.com, and you can contact me there and you can add some pictures. I would love to see what you've come up with. That would be fabulous. Again, now I do have a couple of the frame punches, frame or border punches, but the frame punches that are not available anymore in Creative Memories, but I do have some of those, 2 of them on my website, and along with some other things. So please stop by. I gave you the link for my website, the link for my Creative Memories website, and if you have any questions or comments, put those in the comments below. I thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, I would appreciate you doing that. Share with your friends. Ask them to subscribe. I'm not to 1,000 yet, and I really want to get there. So thank you for your help. And those of you who keep following me all the time, I appreciate it, and your lovely comments. Until next time, happy scrapbooking.